You're crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
Captain Tom Moores, yeah? What an achievement, right? Who would have guessed it? You know, raising, I think at the minute it's like 26 million quid, yeah? From walking up and down in his garden. Yo, I take my hat off, salute, yeah? Because it's just, in this corona period, it's a heartwarming thing. You know what I mean? Excuse me. And I think that, it just goes to show that when push comes to shove, yeah, the British people, yeah, they know what to do. Yeah. Now, what he raised the money for, I can imagine that excuse the sirens, I can imagine when he started the idea, or when the idea came to him, it was just going to be a matter of, I'm going to walk me down in the garden, I'm going to raise a couple of £100, maybe £1,000 if I'm lucky. Yeah, and then take that money and go chops down to the local hospital and donate a couple of, donate as many hand sanitizers and gloves and face masks as he could. You know what I mean? And I can see that was what the intention was for. And the fact that it's gone way above and beyond, yeah, by a multitude, yeah. My concern now is that there are some unscrupulous people, right? Yeah, especially within them charities that start rub them hand together, yeah, and start thinking about how they can cream or siphon a little change for themselves. You know what I mean? Because I always felt that that's been one of the biggest issues within the NHS department, and that is how the money is distributed and how it's spent. Yeah, and in the grand scheme of things, 26 million quid ain't a lot, but if it was spent on what it was supposed to, or if it is spent on what it's supposed to be spent on, then it is a lot. And my concern is that a lot of let's say the heads of department, yeah, will see this opportunity to, let's forget the wicked side of it, where they want to put it in their own pocket. Let's say that the head of department, they might need a machine or something, or there's something they might have wanted for a little while now, and this money, this injection of cash now, could actually buy that. Yeah, and my issue is that if hospitals start going down that road, yeah, what it does is it pushes the necessities of the PPE stuff for the nurses, for the actual nurses, down. Yeah. So they'll be thinking, right, okay, then if they get given £100,000 and the machine costs, let's say, 50 or 60, they'll still say, well, we'll buy £30,000 worth of PPE stuff, and then we'll hold this other 60 for that machine that we wanted. Yeah. And that to me causes a problem, because now the nurses, it might buy enough equipment, it might buy enough PPE for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, and they're hoping that the situation will get better and it's not necessarily needed so much. But without any certainty of where this corona thing's going, that money needs to be, I think that money needs to be spent solely on PPE stuff, yeah, and not other things. Because I'm reading about how they're looking to buy laptops and laptops or tablets and stuff like that for the patients, which is all good. Don't get me wrong, these are all good ideas, yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, I think if you let's say for example with the laptops for the patients, so they can talk to their loved ones outside of the home. For me, it'd be better if you just spent that money on making a station in which a group of people or a ward of people could use that and have that a designated time in which they're allocated to say, okay, then you want to talk to your children, we will let them know at 6 o'clock you've got 6 till 6:30, or you know what I mean, rather than spending hundreds of pounds on buying individual patients tablets. You know what I mean? Because hundreds of pounds quite quickly add up to thousands, and then thousands quite quickly add up to hundreds, tens of thousands. And those tens of thousands of pounds can buy multitudes and many, many more face masks and sanitizers and that You know what I mean? And will distribute better within the NHS itself. But that's just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? And then that's just what I think. But let me know in the comments below, do you think that, you know what I mean, the money should be spent on, just solely spent on PPE? Or do you think that the money should be distributed throughout the hospital, yeah, and buy other things like respirators and stuff like that? Because don't get me wrong, if you can buy a respirator, by all means, but how many people will actually benefit from that more than the amount of people that will benefit from the PPE? And that's what I'm asking, you know what I mean? But that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments below. I'm out. Peace.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?